Dance has been one of the most common forms of visual communication for a few centuries now. It has a way of expressing exact meaning through certain arm gestures and body movements, while it also takes on a form of movement where its interpretation is up to the viewer. These connotative and denotative definitions of movement create a world of subjective perception for each individual viewing the fluidity and meanings of the movement. But in every presentation of dance, the context changes its meaning through movement. The exploration of this phenomenon unearths the mysteries of visual and nonverbal communication in a fashion that has become a prominent part of human history. Dance takes on ideas from the visual communication theory under Barnes' 2011 definition. In this effort to collaborate the meaning of visual communication, she mentions Goodman, 1978, and his findings on dealing with non-linguistic symbols. Dance in the form of storytelling, example Swan Lake, obtains characteristics from the notational system. With these meanings and fluidity of gestures that represent words, each of these silent monologues can be broken down into individual movements and words without losing its meaning. For instance, in Swan Lake, in the third act, Prince Siegfried swears to Rothbart that he will marry Odile using hand gestures. With different movements and sayings, these characters are able to have a conversation, which ultimately leads to the two characters' suicides. But broken down, the movements that create these tragedies can have individual meaning and definitions. Although context is always key in being able to fully understand something, movement can have individual or group meaning under the notational system of visual communication theory. This theory applies not only to the ballet genre, but to other cultural forms of dance as well. Let's take a look at the different movements of the hands and arms in a traditional Indian celebration dance.
Everybody, let's get those hands together!
These movements all involve holding some sort of item. These include gifts, swords, garlands, food, and drink. Within each of these movements, the way the limb is moving indicates what sort of action or meaning is behind the dance. From the notational system, the movements together can create a story or message for the viewer, yet each separate gesture still obtains its meaning even pulled from the context. While all of these movements have meaning and symbolism attached to them, dance in any culture almost always has celebration in its purpose. For this specific dance, it is performed at a huge family birthday party. The culture of the party has high energy with lots of exotic attire. These aspects are displayed through the dance to match the vibe of the party. The music that plays, along with this piece, is also a foundation for the dance. We can see where the bass hits or specific sounds play, and corresponding movements are danced. For instance, the hips play a big role in hitting the music at the right time. The synchronization helps keep that vibe up. But when the vibe is low, sometimes you can always count on a group of talented and delusional frat boys to change the mood in the room. In this next clip, I captured dance footage from this past year's dance marathon. These boys showing willingness to be brave and take center stage. Most of these boys present are pledging a frat, and compared to the brother wearing his letters, they seem much more shy and intimidated in their movement. Comparing this clip to Billy Elliot the musical, George Radosthenis, 2007, explains a more enthusiastic type of dance. The type of dance someone usually performs is most comfortable with ultimately depends on the culture that person comes from. Dance is learned through culture and interaction. I came to the conclusion that becoming more confident, especially through a pledge process, might have a correlation to the willingness to dance in front of a large group of people. Radosthenis, 2007, states dances provide a physicalized expression of emotions and personal desires that could lead to a personal transformation. These emotional changes experiences are shown through visual and physical art form no other than dance. In Doig and Aram's 2011 research, he questions the relationships between dance and the camera, or in other words, dance in the way it is socially constructed to portray meaning. Dance is challenged here, but results show that the way the movement can be presented, there is no way to interpret or understand dance through writing. It is ultimately a visual form of meaning and communication. Writing forms of dance are almost always impossible to understand. In this clip from Dance Marathon as well, we see a different, more social side of dancing. Dancing at clubs usually is for some social reason and meeting new people. In Sam Carroll's 2007 article, the incorporation of media into dance is shown as a prominent aspect and a reason for someone to dance. With technology as an aid, dance is used as a social medium. Not only here, dance can be used as the medium for social phenomenon, but in other parts and cultures of the world too. Carroll also emphasizes the importance of a DJ in dance and the way people socialize. Let's go back to the Indian celebration and watch for the technology used here. The lights have an impact on the way the dance is perceived with the visual field of an individual. The colors impact different moods people feel and go through while watching this dance. While the lighting is important to the mood, so is the music. The high and low in mood creates a diversity that is equivalent to the culture here at this party. Like dance is a form of a notational system, so is music. At the party, these songs have the same meaning, but when they are put together, it creates a different kind of feel for this party. In addition to lighting and music, clothing and appearance plays another huge role in the world of dance. Cynthia Frisbee, 2012, explores statistics in race and sex within provocative dancing. Attire is so important because the way someone is dancing can look more risky if there's less clothing showing. In previous and modern times, sex has always been a top contender for uses of dance. Hip movements and other body movements are done so to get attention for the eye to follow that specific body part. We can see in this clip that different body parts are accentuated to cause mystery and desire through the movement. The dancing gets more adulterated with every hip-hop and booty shake that occurs. A key clothing item in this dance is the wrap that is tied around the girl's waist. With the beads, jewels, and gems, it makes it almost impossible to keep the eye off the bottom. The noise and shimmer that is given off is a result to shaking the hips really fast, an Indian icon. In Frisbee's article, she explains how race has played a key role in her research and statistical findings. The results show that there was only one race difference in that black artists were twice as likely to wear exposing and sexually provocative clothing. Why? Because our society has become so accustomed to using sex as a reason to dance. The common realizations that people have are based on what the media portrays and how different cultures are utilized and shaped in order to present dance in a certain and sometimes provocative way. While all these aspects play huge roles in the differences in dance forms, they can all be broken down without losing its meaning. Dance has become a hodgepodge of different aspects of society and social life. Its unique and artistic ability to do this has the capacity to keep on creating different forms of dance with years to come.